Zenidor will evacuate, but I'm afraid without a third base, there's no way he's going to be able to support getting Colossi. And this looks like game. A force field should have gone down already, but it's too late now. And yeah, Zenidor will GG. VA is where again?
Virginia?
I guess so.
Oh, or Vermont. No, Vermont doesn't have any in it.
And I guess we'll get into game 3. Texas, New York, Texas, Idaho, Texas, Washington, Texas, Idaho, Denver, Colorado. And that's all while we've been talking.
Sheesh.
Oh, I missed some. Ohio, New Jersey, Columbus, Georgia, Massachusetts, New York, Austin, Texas. Hooray! So yeah, I've been getting a lot of calls. No wonder my phone died today, yeah? Kind of surprised it lasted as long as it did. Anyways, this is the third and final map of this best of 3. It is on merry-go-round. This really forces a Protoss player to go for a 2-base play. 1 or 2-base play. Against Zerg, probably 2-base. And essentially the reason why is because holding that third is very difficult. There is too much surface area, so any Roach Hydra or Mutaling combination actually holds up against Colossus. There's just not enough DPS in the army to account for the wide arc that the Zerg can take. So taking a third is a nightmare for a Protoss player on this map. To help explain what I mean, we have visuals. So here, I mean, what are you gonna do? Where can you force field? There's all this open space that the Zerg can come at you from. If the Zerg, even if the Zerg comes from this angle, this is still awkward because there's all this space here. Anyways, if you will introduce our players for a third and final time.
Alright, spawning in the top right, the Teal Protoss, the currently seeking to have victory, Ataraxy Esports Community is Zenidor.
With the chrono boost.
And spawning in the bottom middle, the green Zerg, the currently seeking his comeback, Guns and Roaches, Justin.
Oh yeah, Pac-Man Frog is awning. Anyways, it looks like Zenidor is going to go for a cannon rush. Here's the forge, and there's the pylon. Justin does not seem to be aware of this yet. he cannot see anything. His overlord is not in the right position to spot this. We're gonna look through his vision since we know what's happening. Oh, he might see the forge with that overlord. Okay, so he sees the forge, and now his alarm bell should be ringing. There is a potential for a cannon rush. Okay, he now knows that the cannons are up, and it is way too late to stop the cannon rush. He will cancel his hatch. Good decision. And I'm getting another call from MI. What's MI?
Michigan?
Yeah, that sounds right. And Justin is gonna take the I guess that would be the 4th base location, as it is towards his opponent, and go for a roach horn, I believe. And he's just going to go for at this point he's going to go for roaches and try and break the wall of his opponent in the early mid game, so probably around the 8-9 minute mark, I want to say. Maybe even earlier if he feels confident, feels like he can get stuff done. He might use these Zerglings to poke, depending on the nature of the wall. He sees the photon cannon is there and backs off. Good decision making. Okay, so a little, another call from Illinois. Zenador went and checked, the other location. Then he threw down his forge. Then he went for the cannon rush. The reason why he does this is because he says to himself, okay, I know you are not here. Therefore, you must be here. And if you are here, you should be going for a normal expansion. Therefore, I don't have to scout your main to make sure that you're going for an expansion. I just have to see that you are going for that expansion, since I know that's where you should be. And so he automatically goes for that. If he scouts it, if he does not give away his probe on that first possible location, since his opponent wasn't there. So that's the mentality behind this. Now he is in the dark. He knows that speed is done for his opponent, and that roaches are also out. He should have a robo down. Yeah, he has started a robo. I think Zenador is actually playing a little greedy for circumstance. Both bases are pretty close to near full saturation, but he has no army of which to speak and no gateways, or warp gates, I should say. And it looks like Justin is going to account for that. Zenador has pulled away from the wall, which is probably not the best idea. He doesn't have enough energy for a photon overcharge either, so this is about to get very dicey. He can pull probes, but I'm afraid it's too late. I think he needed to pull probes while he still had that stalker, because even if he pulls probes now, he's not going to have the DPS in his army to shut down these roaches. There are no additional roaches coming across the map, but there are some speedlings on their way, which will be very annoying for the probes. The photon overcharge is not out yet, and even if it does, okay, there it goes. Justin can now just go into the main, and that he does. The Immortal is popping, so it will be able to deal with these roaches. So much economic damage has already been done, though. Those 3 lings are actually just what Justin needs. Had those 3 lings not been there, that Immortal would have been able to cut Justin's army in half. But with them being there, This is not good at all. Um, Justin does realize that the Robo is the primary threat to his roaches, and he is going to focus that down. And with that down, this is pretty much game. Zenidor will finally pull probes now that he has a stalker out, but I'm afraid that's not going to be nearly enough. Zenidor is continuing to warp in Zealots. I don't believe they have charge, so that's not going to matter much.
Brendan Zenidor should say something like, never! Or I have like 5 secret bases off in the distance you have no idea about, or...
What about my DTs? The never-failing Protoss comeback unit. And that will conclude Zenidor's run in this particular tournament. There were no Spore Crawlers, so if he did have DTs, they would have been able to do some damage, but he didn't even have a Twilight on the map, so that was a moot point. Okay. Down to 4. Okay, I'm going to be right back.
So all the incredibly embarrassing secrets about Zenidor that no one else knows but me are...
I didn't say I was gonna be out of earshot.
I know, just you can't get... You would have to bolt back at the speed of light to try to hang up before...
Not necessarily.
Oh yes, we could just bring each other both down in flames.
You know what this iMessage thing my sister is talking about is?
Sadly, I do not. I'm assuming it's something to do with Apple since you have an iPhone and I have a Mac.
Oh, I see. That makes sense now.
Because someone was extravagantly generous.
Anyways, if you'll introduce our players.
Yes. Spawning... ping please? Spawning in the bottom left, the blue Terran. The president of the Liquipedia, please change my profile picture. Axioms, heart.
That would be cool if he was in my clan.
Ataraxia, wow. Axiom, wow. Anyways. And spawning in the top right, the red Zerg, Rokats, Hun.
So, as this is a TVZ, Hart is going to wall.